So, for the second day in a row, I start my afternoon by talking about some breaking news that's going to be involving coaching again in MLS. And unlike yesterday, where I talk about coaching that involved with a head coach being hired by one of these MLS teams, today I'm going to be talking about one that just got fired by one of these teams. And in this case, it's Diego Alonso, who has officially announced today that he is no longer part of Inter Miami as they decide to fire him today, and he basically joined the long list of head coach that unfortunately suffer that fate and join the ongoing head coaching carousel that is going on in MLS. And what's interesting about this firing is that a couple of months ago there was actually a report saying that Diego Alonso was fired by Inter Miami, and then when somebody saw that report, they quickly say, yeah, that report is false. He is still actually with this team. And then a couple of weeks later after that report, Paul McDonough, the sporting director of Inter Miami, decided to resign. And now he basically is back with Atlanta United. And that there was kind of an interesting situation where, not only Inter Miami was looking for their sporting director, but whoever the sporting director is going to come in for this team, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not if he's going to keep Diego Alonso or decide to go with a new head coach. Well, not only the fact that we didn't find out who exactly is going to be the sporting director that either make the decision of keeping Alonso or decide to go with another guy, but they didn't even find a sporting director. So it must be somebody even higher up that decided to make this decision. And in this case, I would think maybe it could be either Jorge Mas or David Beckham, the owner, decided that, you know what, after how things have gone the first season, I think we need to just completely nuke the front office and also some of the coaching staff, and therefore they decided to make the decision in terms of firing Diego Alonso. Now, as much as I am seeing on social media and especially on Reddit where people once again are making fun of Inter Miami with the way that, they are basically completely nuking things up and just pretty much once again hit the reset button like they've been doing pretty much for the past couple of years, even before they become an MLS team. But in some way, I think this isn't as bad as what people are making fun of them doing, because I think in some way it was necessary with the way that when you look at their first season in MLS, sure, they did make it to the playoffs, but as many people have said before, there should be a big asterisk in terms of them making the playoffs, with them being the last team in the expanded playoff from this season, and also the fact that the Eastern Conference was so bad that you literally had to suck so badly to not make it to the playoffs out of the Eastern Conference. And for Inter Miami, as much as they really did not play well at all in their first season, they just did enough to make it to the playoffs. But other than that, the other thing that I kind of also mentioned is that there's no structure and identity in this team. Like the closest identity you can say about Inter Miami this season is probably them trying to sign some big name player, and it just completely blew up in their face once they decided to do that. So something tells me with them decided to think about nuking the front office, and maybe this is a way to maybe finally find an identity and structure, and that this new front office, this new sporting director and new head coach that they're going to potentially hire will bring some stability into the team as it wasn't the case in the first season. But we shall see whether or not if that is going to be the case, and it will be interesting to see who is going to be the next head coach and sporting director of this team. Or maybe they don't even go with a sporting director. Maybe they'll just go with a head coach, and basically David Beckham and Jorge Mas is going to be the one that's going to control the transfer. Well, specifically David Beckham, because we have heard that he is going to be a little bit more influence in terms of some of the moves that Inter Miami is going to do. So yeah, I think most likely they're probably going to search for a head coach, and it's going to be interesting to see who exactly is going to be the next head coach of this team. But if you're Inter Miami fans, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this? Do you think this was the right decision that they decided to get rid of Diego Alonso, or do you think that they probably should have gave him at least one more years and all the challenge that he had to deal with this season? Is it kind of a little bit unfair, the fact that they fired him despite the fact that he overcome the challenge and were able to get this team to the playoffs? But let me know in the comments below. But as always, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.